2000 Mazda MPV LX. I'm changing out the coolant tank, the expansion tank. This is it right here. For the past couple of months, my coolant was leaking out. I couldn't find the leak, and as you can see here, it's a small crack. I couldn't see the leak because the coolant was coming out like steam, so it evaporates. So I can't see it. So I had to keep adding coolant. The crack got bigger, so I found it. So I'm gonna replace it. You wanna do this when the car is cold. It's 2 bolts holding it, one here, 10 mm, and one here. Before you do that, you want the car to be cold and get a drain pan just in case you got coolant inside, so you can drain. This one I usually add water to it because it was leaking out. This is the new tank right here. Bought it on eBay. And you want to disconnect this hose on the top here and this bottom hose on the bottom. You want to do this when the car is cold, because the coolant, if you have coolant inside or whatever, it can spray up on you and burn you. You can get burned. Take out the one bolt at the bottom and a nut on the top here. And what redneck trick is, if you have a small leak and your car is overheating, you want to take off the radiator cap so the system won't pressurize and build up pressure, and it won't overheat. So you leave the cap off and drive it like that, but you're gonna have to keep adding water until you fix it, because the water gonna evaporate, you're gonna burn out, and the car gonna overheat. You're gonna see it on the gauge. You can keep adding water. So that's a redneck trick. Just leave the cap off so the system won't pressurize. This cap here, this is not an overflow tank, this is an expansion tank. This type of vehicle, there's no radiator cap on top of the radiator. The cap is on top of the coolant tank, and that's why it's called an expansion tank. So if it's overheating, small leak, for it not to overheat until you fix it, or to drive it to the mechanic shop or somewhere, you leave the cap off so it won't overheat. So that's what I was doing. So just disconnect this, take out this old tank. See the crack over there? It was small, very tiny crack. I couldn't detect the leak because it was so tiny, like this. It was something like this, and it became like this. And one other way to know it's leaking to you, as you can see this brown spot here. So all you have to do, put in back your new tank in the reverse order. Put the bolts back, put the pipe, the hoses on, put the clamps back where they were. Fill it up with coolant all the way to the full level. Let it run, rev it. You're gonna have some air inside, air pockets. So get out, you just let it run, and then the air bubble is gonna come out. You're gonna see the bubbles coming up when the system is hot and the coolant runs through. Put on your heater also to the max. Rev the RPM to 2000 RPM so the fan can come on, and it's gonna burp itself. The bubble's gonna come out. Take it for a test drive. And be careful this when you're doing this, when you're adding back the coolant. Don't close the cap and open it back, as you can get burned, as you can see on the top here. Take precautions, safety first. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click thumbs up, leave a comment or a question.